What is up? Wait, did that work? StreamYard has locked access. Oh wait, StreamYard's off. Oh, damn it! Hold on, they kicked me out of Facebook. Oh wait, am I live right now? Oh shit!
It looks live to me,
Oh
top
no,
left.
I'm live. I'm just not live on Facebook right now. All right. Well, this is a disappointment. What a rough intro. So I changed my Facebook password so it said it didn't go live, but I guess it went live. Okay, that was the worst intro I've ever done. What's up, everybody? This is episode 15 of the Wholesailors, and we are here with the one and only Ryan Romo. What a terrible botched intro, dude. Anyways, we're going to teach you the 10 comp commandments to be able to comp real estate. We're going to go through single family homes, but obviously we're going to do, come here, dog. Yeah, we're going to do land. We're going to do multifamily. I'm going to do a little bit of creative too. But this man here, Ryan, comps. How many properties do you comp a week, you'd say, Ryan?
Too many.
All right, too many. Guys, it really copying is so simple, and I've narrowed it down into 10 easy steps. So this is going to be a great time. My dog just took a bath because he has fleas, and now he's hyper. So, hey, yeah, we can get started. But, Ryan, kick it off. Give everybody a little bit of information on who you are, who's RFP Homes, and then we'll get started on comping.
What's going on, guys? This is my second time on the Wholesalers with next year. I'm one of the managing partners and co-founders at RFP Homes. We're a dispositions brokerage here in DFW. And yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. And we have MLS here. We'll be using MLS to comp some properties. We're going to comp, like I said, land, single family homes, multifamily. We're going to comp everything. Duplexes are different than multifamily. This is going to be so much fun. I want you guys to be sending me all your properties you want us to comp. By the end of this, you should be able to comp a property in just a few minutes. Ryan, how long does it take you to comp a property?
Man, I mean, intensely, I can like really dissect a deal in 5 minutes or less. Like quick comp within 2, sometimes 1. Depends on how much good data you get. You've seen me do it, so I'll let you answer that one too.
Yeah, guys, and I've done that too. If it's in my backyard, like literally, if it's in the neighborhoods I know well, I can just know. You have to get a gut feeling. That's actually one of my commandments. I'll open the commandments here right now, guys. So, guys, these are the 10 comp commandments. This is awesome. Let me zoom in for you guys. So I just did this quickly. Shout out to Nick Sicilian. I absolutely copied him and then changed it up a little bit to fit what we use at our company. So to comp an ugly home, all right, so we have an ugly home. We're going to go here on Zillow and we're going to just look for an ugly single family house. Well, that was perfect. That one just came up for me. I was a property I was comping the other day. This house is ugly. Would you say this is an ugly house, Ryan?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. This is in Richardson, right? It has potential. We love Richardson properties, but it's ugly and it needs a lot of work. So Ryan, is $295,000 a good deal?
I'd have to run the comps, but knowing Richardson and looking at this 1,200 square foot home, probably not.
Okay. So that's why it's so good, guys, to focus on one neighborhood. But our 10 comp commandments. So you probably already know all these, Ryan, but we'll go through them, and then we're actually going to comp some properties. So, guys, here in the comments, right here, I want you guys to send me properties you want to comp. And we'll actually go through some deals that we did ourselves, and now we actually wholesaled and made some money on. So it's not just theoreticals, they're real deals. But the first rule is thou shalt not use comps further than 1 mile. Would you agree with that, Ryan? A 1 mile radius?
One for sure, and try to keep in the same subdivision as closely as you can. That's not always possible, but for sure, try to stay within at least a mile.
Yeah. So same subdivision, guys. Another way of saying that is don't cross any major streets. If there's a major street, don't cross it. This is all confusing to you. I'm going to show you all of this in action here in a few minutes. We're just going to quickly cover these quick 10, and then we're going to jump into it. So yeah, don't cross any major streets. Stay in the same subdivision. Thou shalt not use comps older than 360 days. That's a hot topic, Ryan. Do you do 90 days? Do you do 180 days? Do you do 360? What do you think?
So when the market was really hot 2 years ago, there were so many sold comps you could pretty much get, like, I mean, I'm talking specifically in DFW, you could pretty much stick below 60 or 90 all day long. I would say in this market, as it slowed down a bunch, I always try to stay within 90, but then I push back to 6 months. And if the data isn't good enough there, I will go back to a year. But normally you shouldn't have to go further back than 6 months right now in this current market.
Yeah, guys. So this is something that is so important. I'm happy we're getting into it. The price of your market, guys, when you're going back, whether you're going back 90 days, 180 days, 360 days, maybe you're going back 720 days, it's actually very location dependent. There's not one rule that works for your entire market across the US because right now, Florida's sort of crashing, right? But there's other areas where prices are just popping off. And then even within Florida, there's some neighborhoods that are absolutely going up and some neighborhoods that are going down. So it's very location specific. So know your area. Here in Dallas, right, we can actually look. I like to go to Redfin Data Center. This is a great website for you guys. You guys can get a ton of data. Let's just type in Dallas, Texas. And we're going to see these are new listings. So it's actually pretty interesting to see. So you can see that listings on market are pretty high. We're getting a lot of days on market. I mean, a lot of properties on market. I think days on market are going to go up. But, we can go through all the data and see what prices are at. But where do you think prices are, Ryan? How do you think the Dallas market's treating us?
Honestly, I still think we're one of the hardest, if not the best. I would say best overall market in the country. It's pretty even keel. We haven't seen quite the dips in other markets like Seattle or Los Angeles even, but we've stayed strong.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. So pending sales here in Dallas, pending sales is dipping a little bit. Properties are selling within 2 weeks. Well, we're not getting that data. Homes sold. It's about, we're about in line with the last couple of years. Nothing crazy here in Dallas. We're not having an extreme bull run, but we're not having a crash either. It's pretty flat. Days to close, a little bit, pretty good actually. So guys, it's really good to understand your market so then you can justify. So Ryan likes to go back, 180 days. Sometimes I like to go back 360. There's no right answer, except if your market's going really high, right? You don't want to be going back 360 days because that data 360 days ago is different. Or if your market's going down really fast, right? So if it's a steady market, you can go back further. If it's a volatile market, you want to make it short. It's short. So that was just a little rant, guys. Make sure to check out Redfin Data Center. I play around with this all the time. Like, hey, properties are experiencing price drops. Look at that. 9% of properties are experiencing price drops, whereas last year we were only at 6%, right? So really interesting data here. We can actually go through it in a little bit. I love this stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll nerd out about this for way too long. So this is our Discord, guys. Make sure to join. This is the #1 community in all of real estate. But okay, Ryan. So on market, should you only look at sold properties or should you look at on market too?
Are you talking about actives?
Yes, actives.
Oh, something like right now, yes, we are using actives because we are trying to stay ahead of the curve, stay ahead of the next few months. We are, because actives are properties that are not selling, which means higher days on market. The market has cooled off a bit, so we are taking into account those recently flipped homes. And if something's not selling at 300 and there's a bunch of them in that subdivision or mile radius, and maybe something did sell like 2 months ago that was a bit higher, but then you see, okay, the same product's not selling. We'll take that into we'll use that as a variable into determining what we think the ARV is, and I know our buyers appreciate that because we're not going to call it 300 if there's 4, 5, 6 comparable homes that have been sitting for 60, 30, 60, 90 days not moving. So we have to take that into account as well, especially right now.
Absolutely. I think I should actually add another commandment here. So if I didn't put number 10 for thou shalt use thy gut instinct, which we'll get to, I think days on market is so important. You guys got to look at days on market when you're looking at comps. And piggybacking off of that, because if you're looking at an area and homes are sitting on the market for 120 days, that's not as strong as a comp as properties that are flying off in 1 or 2 days. So I'm probably actually going to change my 10 commandments and add days on market. So here we'll put an 11 for days on market. But what Ryan's saying with actives is so true. I mean, Ryan, how many deals have we brought to buyers and buyers are like, I love it. I think you guys are right about the comps, but there's an active property next door that's not selling for 600,000. So why is this ARV 650?
Within the past, I would say even just 5 weeks, a lot of buyers have come back. I mean, a ton of buyers. So that is actually a new rule we've implemented with the company where, hey, let's not just look at past 3 months, 6 months, whatever. Like, let's see what's trending or what's actually sitting on the market. from the property we're trying to buy or sell to determine the ARV. So, I've been discounting a lot of properties 20 to 30K based on, those actives. That's a sweet spot because you want to stay ahead of it. If this is pending here, that's where you got to put yourself in the investor's shoe, or in buyer's shoe and say, okay, this is probably what they're thinking. And you're giving them a little bit of buffer room in case, that they're not able to hit that mark.
Absolutely, guys. I mean, these 10 commandments that we're giving you guys is what we're implementing at our company, and we're, on track to do 7 figures this year, and we have over 20 employees. So it's not like we're just making this up while we go. Like, this works for our company. It's going to work for your company. Your area may be a little bit different, but these strategies, these commandments, they literally work. So now we're getting into the granular stuff. That was all bigger picture. Ryan, how much older or younger should a property be?
I like to be plus or minus 10 years each way. So if it's 1970s build, no more than 1980 and no less than 1960. So there's a 20-year variance essentially in between the 1970s. What do you think, Max?
Absolutely. Guys, I double check these with some great wholesalers that we work with here, like Nick Sicilian. Same thing. I double check these with bigger pockets. Same thing. I double check these with Jamil Damji, like the #1 wholesaler in the US. Same freaking thing, right? So we change them a little bit, but yeah, everybody's using the same comps, guys, because guys, guess what? Guess who also uses these? Freaking underwriters and people who are actually, their job is to go and assess properties and give you value for your property. People that work for banks, they're using these same things. So if they're using them, well, we're going to use them, right? So if you're going to go get a loan on a property, these people, they're going to be looking at the same things that you guys are. It's no different. So yeah, plus or minus 10 years, you nailed that, Ryan. What do you think? I say you try to find properties with the same bedrooms and bathrooms. Would you generally agree with that?
Of course. As close as you can. Ideally, if you're comping a 322 brick in Arlington, that's 1,200 square feet. I want that to the end, right? I want the exact comp, but obviously you work with what you got, right? So I personally try to stay within 400 plus or minus. That's usually gives you enough room to work with. Okay. Ideally 200, but I found 400s gives you a little more buffer.
Okay. Well, where's my square footage one? Did I not put it in here? No, I don't know where my square footage one went. Yeah, Ryan's 100% right. Within 400, Jamil likes to use 250. Company, we use 400. I heard people say 300, so something like that. Yeah, I don't know where the heck my square footage is.
That's absolutely funny. I feel like I didn't know what any of these other groups are doing. This is just what our company's done.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, well, we're in line. So yeah, guys, my bad there. Thou shall use comps within plus, my bad, I completely missed the most important one. Plus or minus, we'll just say 300 square feet, but you could probably go up to, again, it's very dependent. If you're looking at homes that are 1,000 square feet, 300 square feet's a lot, right? That's 30% of the house. But if you're looking at homes that are 3,000 square feet, then you're only talking 10%. So again, it's flexible, guys. So
basic rules. Basic rules.
Basic rules, guys. So yeah, that's square footage. Thanks, Ryan, for catching that one. Same bedroom, bathroom if you can. Now, if you can't do the same bedroom, bathroom, then you're going to use adjustments. And we'll get into adjustments here in a little bit later. We're almost done here. Similar size lot. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about lot. Lot really freaking matters. So try to find the same similar size lot. And I don't really like adjustments personally. Some people live off of adjustments. Do you do adjustments, Ryan? I'm curious. Like, if it has one less bedroom, do you add 10K to 25K? Pools, garage, carports, traffic, that stuff. Do you do a lot of adjustments?
Yeah, and again, it's not a perfect art. It's piecing it together. So yes, if it's a 4-2 and I'm working with 3-2s, then yes, I'll deduct about 10K per bedroom or add.
Awesome.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Cool. Well, let's go test my 10 commandments or commandments that I just made here in the last few minutes, and we'll put them to the test and see if they work well. And if they do, I'm gonna like get this on like a big old stone, and I'm gonna put it up on the wall back there, because we gotta stick to these. So yeah, here we'll go comp a few properties. If you guys have properties, send them through. I know Sean sent a property through. You guys send me properties all day long, so keep on sending them. Now, this is not going to be the same for land. This is not going to be the same for multifamily. This is not even going to be the same for small multifamily. This is for ugly single family homes. This is for single family homes. All right. Well, I'm going to get this set up, Ryan. Do you have any words of advice for the people out there who are learning to comp?
It's easier for me because I'm licensed. I'd actually like your take, Max, on what's the best source for people that are looking to get going. Where should they be finding their data? I've heard, I don't know if Texas posts on like Zillow recently comps, if you're able to find there, but I do know people in other states use Zillow. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's such a great question. So guys, I am a licensed realtor. Ryan is a licensed realtor. So if I want to go comp, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, I'll take you off, Chris. I'm going to head over here to MLS, the software that I pay like $1,000 a year for, and only we can get it. But you guys don't have MLS in your area. So what should you do? Guys, before I did this, for the past 6-7 years of my life, before I even used MLS, I used Zillow. I comped all my properties with Zillow. I became a real estate investor with just Zillow, and I wholesaled successfully with just Zillow in a non-disclosure state. So it's easily possible. And I was too freaking cheap to even pay for Privy or PropStream or, any of the great softwares or like Deal Machine, right? So you can use free Zillow, Redfin, oldrealtor.com. I recommend y'all get something like a Privy, a Deal Machine, or a PropStream. Or if you can, just become a licensed agent. It's worth the money. And then you can use MLS and you can be 1,000% more efficient. Cool. Love it. And then Sean was saying non-disclosure states. You know if there's any other non-disclosure states, Ryan? I'm sure there are.
I think Florida. I don't want to say wrong. I know Texas well. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Guys, non-disclosure states means that the average person doesn't have sold prices. So we don't know what properties actually sold for, which is a pain in the ass. We try with Zillow, but we compare Zillow and PropStream, then use our best judgment against the other comps in the area. Okay, cool. Awesome. So how's PropStream treating you guys? Like, do you guys notice a difference paying like $100 a month or something? Is it worth the money? And if you guys want something free, guys, what's better than PropStream? What's better than Zillow, guys, is PropWire. So again, I'm not affiliated with these people, but this is excellent. Go to PropWire. This is Jerry Norton's affiliated company. This is great. So we go to Richardson here. Sometimes you'll get sold data here in Texas. You can do all this: absentee owners, adjustable loans, cash buyers, free and clear, MLS, all these pre-foreclosures. You can do all this fancy stuff. Then you can get in here. You can actually look at like minute data. It's all free. You guys can even draw a radius circle, like we were saying. So let's say we want to comp this house. We'd want to stay in this subdivision right here. So we could draw a little. How do you do that? What do I try to do? Live demonstrations. I don't know, here you can draw like a radius like that. Right, and then you could comp the properties. So yeah, PropWire is excellent. Highly recommend you guys use this. Cool. All right, Ryan, let's get comping. You ready?
Let's do it.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of non-disclosure states. Sean says Alaska, Idaho, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana. Jeez. I thought we were special. I mean, are any of those states even relevant, though? There's not a single relevant state on there.
New Mexico's a decent market. I don't know about Alaska. I would say they're probably the least relevant.
New Mexico's like the retirement home of the U.S. I'm sorry for all you people from New Mexico.
Utah.
Oh, Chris hates PropWire. I love it. Different thing for different persons. Okay, cool. Let's get comping. All right, I'm already starting beef with people. So here on MLS, guys, it's going to be the same thing on yours. So we're going to quickly comp a property. So Sean posted this property in Louisiana. Unfortunately, I don't have access to Louisiana, Sean, so I can't comp that property. We're going to have to comp some Dallas properties. So here, let me pull some up. Brian, do you have any that you off the bat that you want me to comp?
I emailed you some recent closings.
Did you email me just land deals or regular deals too?
There's a few. If you look in the email on the bottom, I added some Arlington properties as well.
Sick. All right. D's down here.
Yes.
If we do a house or two, let's do a couple layup Arlington brick builds. Epic. All right, so awesome. So we're gonna start with this one. Are these deals that we actually sold, Ryan?
And closed on. They're done.
Oh, love it, guys. Do you remember these deals? How much we made? All the numbers?
No, but I can look them up. And then,
All right,
ooh, I
cool.
definitely let's check Rusttown next. That was an interesting one.
Okay, cool. So, guys, we're going to do this property here. I guess we wholesaled this property successfully. We probably got it from a wholesaler or something. So, here, I'm going to put last 360 days. Again, we have our actives clicked. We want to see homes on market. I also like to see active option contract and pending. I like to see what properties are actually starting to sell for. And I also really want to see closed. Now, Ryan, what's the difference between active option contract and pending? Because for the last like 7 years of my life, I had no idea what the difference was.
Active option is when there's an actual, like if it's under contract, like I sell it to a buyer, or if we put it under contract, that realtor is going to list it as action option. Once it passes, then it goes to pending.
So during your due diligence period, your inspection period, your option period, whatever people call it, that's going to be active option contract. And then after, where you've already foregone your EMD, you're going to lose your EMD if you don't buy this house. Then it goes to pending. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And that's,
Okay.
I like looking at the active options, because then you can call those agents. And I know we did a masterclass the other day, but those haven't guaranteed past their option period. So, there's a shot that those might fall through. Always going to call those agents on those deals.
Yep. All right. So here's a house, guys. It's in Arlington, or actually our offices are right pretty much near there. Oh, no, never mind. Our offices are over here in Irving. I don't even know the market. So we're going to check this out. So right off the bat, I see a lake. Guys, don't look at properties near the lake and say those are good comps to this property that's nowhere near the lake. That's my first thing. Like, this is not a good comp. That's lake views. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is stay within this little subdivision. This here, is this a major road, Ryan? Would you say Arkansas is a major road?
Definitely a major road.
What about this one, Green Oak?
I'd call that a major road.
All right. Now, would you call this a major road? Smoke.
No.
There you go, guys. You can see when it's double wide, that's a major road. So this is all major road, major road. I'd probably want to stay in this little subdivision pocket right here. So now, even though this one's right next door, would you use that as a comp, Ryan? It's literally, you can see it from our house, but it's across the street.
Off the bat, no. But if they're really similar in price, I would look at us. Mm-hmm. There's exceptions.
Yeah, exactly. There's always exceptions.
But a lot of times you'll see like properties that are selling for 300, 320. On the other side, it's a completely different subdivision. You have property selling for 600, 800, new builds, whatever it may be. So that's the major roads can play a huge factor in, price difference.
Yep. So the first thing, go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was going to say a nicety of a neighborhood.
Exactly. So the first thing I want to do is just get an idea for the house. 3 bedrooms, like we talked about, 2 bathrooms, 2,000 square feet. We know where it is. Well, do you have to look at the house, Ryan? Does it matter to see like the type of house, the materials it's made from?
I mean, we definitely want to get a decent idea of like the rehab. But I mean, we want to stay on par. Like if it's a brick build, I want to try to find brick builds. I don't like to use, wood siding or whatever vinyl siding if we're going to try to find a, brick comp. So you definitely want to stick with those. Sometimes you don't always have that luxury. So you got to do the best you can, but definitely deduct, like if we're looking at other comps and there was only like vinyl sidings or wood sidings, I'd probably deduct 20K, being 20,000 square feet.
So
that's just me.
Makes sense. So this is brick. This is a surface of rock, but this is brick. We can see the core of it's brick. Okay. What else stands out to you, Ryan, just on this first picture?
Zoom in. 2-car garage.
Yep, exactly. 2-car garage. They didn't convert the garage. That's a garage, right? So we know we have a 2-car garage. We know we have a brick house. It's a 3-2. Yeah, full baths really matters, right? It's full baths. Now, what do we think, Ryan? What's the condition of the property?
Not terrible.
That's actually really nice. This almost looks flipped. What the heck? This is really nice.
I don't want to crap talk it in case we're talking, the owners are on here. But I would definitely fix up everything. Let's see. You see any cracks? Okay.
I would, yeah, there's some doily stuff I would change. That's a weird, but that's a weird, I mean, yeah, it's like a wholesale. Like this, you just need to put a little bit of work into it to get full ARV, but it's pretty nice. I don't see any cracking. Oh, there's a little bit of cracking on the roof here. There's some
I'd say
cracking right
slight
here on the door.
foundations.
Yeah, there's some foundation issues.
Full cosmetics. What year build is this?
This is pretty nice. This is that's really important, guys, right? Plus or minus 10 years of build. So you can scroll down here again, guys. I use Zillow for everything, so don't say you guys can't use Zillow. 1976.
Okay, so a decent amount of funds would be interested in this as well. So
Absolutely.
you could probably buy this at a higher percentage, knowing that.
And then it's an 8,400 square foot lot, guys. So we have a good idea. We know what it looks like inside. It may need a little bit of work. It may need some foundation work. You may want to do a little bit of things to get to full ARV, but it doesn't need much. We know it's a 2-car garage. We know it's a 3-2. We know the area. We get a good feel for it. Ryan, what do you think just to get full ARV would be on the rehab in this house? Assuming, let's say, 5K of foundation work or 10K of foundation work. Maybe
I'd call it, I'd just off the top of my head, 50.
Okay. Which is crazy because I would get sent this deal from a wholesaler and they would tell me $3,000 in rehab because it needs paint and that's it.
Well, keep in mind, it depends on what the comps we pull. So like we need to match that comp or this property to the top comps in this neighborhood. So
exactly.
Which we need to do right now.
But do you think, my point is, do you think most wholesalers are out completely underestimating what rehab actually is?
For sure.
Yeah, guys, rehab's freaking expensive. Go flip a house and you'll understand. You'll become the best wholesaler ever. So let's look for comps, guys. We want to look for 3-2 houses. Well, hey, Ryan, this is a 3-2 house right here at 20. Oh, guys, we have to talk about that. Why am I missing square footage today? What's wrong with my brain? So how big was this house? 2,000 square feet. Okay. So we have a house right here, Ryan, that's 2,400 square feet. That's sort of within your 400, right? And it's a 3-2. It's nearby. Okay. I wouldn't go any bigger, guys. Has it been fully flipped? And no. I'd say it's about the same quality inside. Maybe a little bit more outdated. So that's not a good comp. What we're trying to do is look for a completely fixed up house. So we'll just keep on trying. This is a game of trying. I wish you could just sort through homes that have been already fixed up.
5307 Firewood. It's just southwest from us. Like I think keep going a little bit lower to the left. By the Lake Greenbrier, I believe.
Yeah, this one.
Is that it? Yeah, I think that one's fully fixed.
Yeah, this one's of 155 square feet smaller, freaking same year. I think it's about the same size lot. It's a 3-2, right? And what would you say? Would you say this is all fixed up, full ARV?
There you go. There's our comp.
There's your comp, guys. This is a great comp. So this is 380. Do they still have the garage, Ryan? They still have the garage. So what do you think ours? Oh, sorry, it's 365, 370. It sold for 370. It's sold in, guys, days on market. Dude, it sold in 1 day for over asking. Beautiful.
There you go.
That's a great comp. The 1 day. Hey, what's up, D? You made it. Yeah, it sold in 1 day. So, I mean, we would show this to a buyer, and a buyer would be like, I can list it at this price and sell it in a day. I love that. All right, that's great. If this took 160 days to sell, not a good sign for a buyer. That's a struggle sell. Okay, so would you say ours is worth the same or a little bit more or a little bit less, Ryan?
We might, again, in this market, just be conservative. I'd probably tack on 10K on top of that. Because I'm looking at the neighborhood and nothing else is sold more than this. This is our highest sold comp comparable to us. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to way overblow it. Mm-hmm. But I think I'd be comfortable calling it 380.
Okay, just because our property's a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah, just to adjust a bit for the bigger size. Okay. I want to do a price. I wouldn't be like, oh, it's definitely like 400 now.
Okay, know? So does that mean we should buy it at 380? What did we buy it at? Curious.
I don't know.
So guys, we can sell it for 380, or the flipper could sell it for 380. So after we flipped this house, we put 50K of rehab into it, maybe. I don't know. 50K may be high for this quality of flip, but it may not be. We'll have to look at our numbers. Then we could get 380. And in this, we probably sold it. What did we sell this at? 78% of ARV, probably, Ryan, out in this
Let me dig in. I'm going to look this one
Okay,
up.
we're going to get the data here. I'm going to whip out a journal for you guys, and we're going to do the math real quick. So let's flip on over to the journal. So we got this house. We know that we can sell it for 380. We're pretty confident, okay? But it needs work. Now, it doesn't look like it needs a ton of work, but guys, I'm telling you, the property still needs work. Let's flip over to it. Where is it? Here it is. You're going to spend a little bit of money on landscaping the outside. That's not too much. This all looks good, but this beam, like you still need to repaint and stuff. The floors look decent. I think there's probably foundation issues. You'd have to check on the roof. The roof may need to be replaced. HVAC and water heater, maybe. Potentially got to pour some money into it. Cabinets actually don't look bad, Ryan. I think you could save all the cabinets.
Interesting. Okay, so we actually dropped, Max, we actually dropped this one. So we didn't get this move. I think we overpaid for it. So we put it under contract for 275 and tried to sell it at 285. And wow. I was running quick numbers at that 380 at 80% minus 50, 60, which brings us down to like 250 range. So we probably were 30K over 25 to 30K too high.
Okay, so love that, guys. So we think we could sell it for 380. We actually got this under contract for, what did we try to sell it for? We tried to sell it for 280.
That's what it looks like.
We tried to sell it for 280 and failed, right? And then what did we get it under contract for? What did we?
275. My assumption is I think the final sales price we were trying to do was 280, but we had tried to do 285, if I remember this one correctly.
Okay. So yeah, we tried to so then the flipper would have spent maybe 30, 40, 50 grand, depending on what they wanted to do and how bad the property was actually in, and then profit some. And we weren't able to sell it for that. So that just gives you an idea, guys. So what we should have offered is what should we have sold it at, Ryan?
Probably 250 would have been a good sales price to the end buyer. And I'm looking at our ARVs. We called it 400, which is
too high.
Yeah. So this is a great example, actually.
Yeah, that was a good one. So guys, just to give you an idea, you see this property, it was probably on MLS or whatever for like 330, right? And then you're like, we get it at 280, like, oh, we're gonna sell it at 280, we get it at 270, like, I'm gonna make 10 grand, we got a great deal. Not even. We probably had to sell it at 250, which means we had to get it under contract at closer to 240 to make any freaking money. You gotta buy really cheap, because at the end of the day, rehab is so expensive. Here, we can run the numbers real quick. So if we can sell it for 380, what'd you say? You think we can sell it at 80% of ARV?
At Arlington, so just thinking about whoever contracted this, I don't see what our AAs. I would have done the same thing. I would have taken a shot at this one because it's a brick 322 in Arlington. We work with all the bigger, single family funds across the country. So this was an ideal. This was a perfect property, I think, to push the numbers a bit because typically funds will even go up to 85% plus, and then these type of pockets with this type of home. So I think it was worth the shot here, but realistically, I think yes, if we could have got this for 240, we would have been able to move it.
Okay, so just so we recap on how we got those numbers, so we comped it. You guys all understand how we comped it. We did our 10 comp amendments to get the number. You usually want to offer the 70% rule on your guys' side. We're selling deals for wholesalers, so our situation's a little bit different. We're usually making the other side of it. But on your guys' side, try to offer 70%. Some neighborhoods you can offer more on. This is actually a pretty solid neighborhood. It's not the ghetto of South Dallas. This is a really desirable home. So maybe in this neighborhood, you could offer up to 75% all day long, I think. Okay, but then you really need to be fair about your rehab, right? If you're going to be overpaying for the property on this, make sure you justify your rehab. So if you can offer 75% and then maybe, let's just say 40K for rehab. What did we end up putting for rehab? I'm curious, Ryan.
We did put 40.
We did put 40. Okay. And then what do we end up getting? So here, this is how we do our math, guys. We do 380 times 0.75%. So 380 is what we're going to sell it for. 1, 2, 3 times 0.75 minus 40. Dude, Ryan nailed his numbers. You'd want to get this house at 245,000. So that would have been
looking at these notes.
This is maxable allowable offer. You guys don't want to pay more than this. Don't pay more than this.
I'm looking at some of these notes. It looked like foundation was a lot worse than we had anticipated.
You know what? If you look at the pictures closely, you can see a ton of cracking. So guys, that's the thing. You guys look at this house and you guys are like, oh, it's so nice, it's beautiful, it barely needs any work. I think Ryan's actually probably right with 50K. You can visibly see cracking in this house. You can see that. Look, if you look at this tub, I wish I could zoom in. It's starting to move, and they're having to put caulking in on the floor. Foundation problems. There's friggin' cracks all in the ceiling. So look at pictures closely. This has a giant crack here. It could be 20 grand in foundation. It's hard to say. All right, I love that. Good comment.
And Max, one more note on this one. It looks like whoever bought this property, we noticed it looked semi-nice, so they did some work. It looked like DIY. It looks like they actually made the closet. They took out a wall and made the closet in the bedroom. Basically, they lost the bedroom, so we were going to need to convert this closet back to a third bedroom, which would have been extra work. So this was actually a two bedroom. Per these notes that I'm looking at.
That's why you guys want to be conservative with your numbers. So even though I was like pushing Ryan to do 40K rehabs, he's probably right with his 50. And then it's probably going to be closer to 235 is what you're really going to want to be buying this at. So hopefully this was a good example. Let's do one more, then we can get into maybe some land. Yeah, I mean, Sean's saying that ARV is 70% minus repairs for maximum allowable offer. I would agree. There's some neighborhoods where you can stretch higher, but really, guys, stick with your 70% rule. If you're in a ghetto, really shit old house that's cheap, then you're probably going to want to be under 70%. Some nicer houses in more desirable areas, you can go higher. But if you guys just want a good number to go off of, it's 70%. We're a little more on the dispo side, so we focus more on what we can sell things for.
Max, I just sent you a address in the chat. Can we do this one? I'm actually curious if our investor has finished this A to Z. So
let's do this one. Man, I love this StreamYard. It's working great. We're getting going. That was the worst intro of my life, but we're cooking now. So yeah, Sean's out here roasting me for saying I can do 75%. Yeah, you can. You're just gonna make a lot less of money. So I would always start your first offer at that lower than 70% or close to that 70% mark, and then inch up if you have to. Okay, let's do this property. So this one is in Dallas. Love it. Same metrics, guys. Same metrics. So here's, just for reference, guys, we were over here. Now we're over here. This is a good area of Dallas, isn't it?
Yeah, 75228 is hot.
Okay, guys. So, right off the bat, don't cross Ferguson. Don't cross PV. Don't cross Gross. And don't cross La Prada. So this is your area for looking at comps. And what is the house that we're looking at, Ryan? We are looking at... What the hell is this? Okay. Oh, okay, we got a corner lot. What kind of house is this, Ryan? Talk me through it. Ryan, you there? Did we lose Ryan? Hold on, let me flip over to Ryan real quick. Ryan!
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. I got you. Nice. Okay, so we got an overgrown house. What is this, a framer?
I'm trying to remember the details of this one, but
it looks like doesn't look like brick. Looks like a framed house. I also like to see if properties around have been flipped. Looks like no property in the neighborhood's been flipped.
Funny enough, I don't think these Google Google Street View wasn't updated.
Okay.
So it had half of it was brick, and then there was a garage conversion. They did.
Okay.
But this one, but I remember this one I liked because there were a lot of garage conversions in this pocket. I think that's why I wanted to use this example.
Okay, so we got a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,469 square feet. Now you're saying the garage was converted to more living space?
Correct. So whatever that 1,400 square feet.
I wish I could see better. I got these junk trees blocking me, so I can't see. Okay, so guys, so Ryan, that's a great question. Are you going to look at properties that have converted garages or don't have converted garages, or are you going to make an adjustment for it? Then we're going to get into our adjustments here in a second, guys. I'm super excited for this.
Well, first I'm going to look at, the neighborhood. And we'll figure out what the best play for this one is. I mean, if there are properties like this one was converted by the previous owner, if we're looking at the properties externally and the comps support a higher ARV, if we keep it converted, then I'll look at those, and then I'll look at options. If no, we don't, well, let's convert it back to a garage. Sometimes we have to do that to yield the highest ARV. So I would just figure out those two. What's the game plan? What's the exit plan for the investor? Because there's a lot of times where we'll get two options where do we convert it or keep it converted, or do we convert it back with the garage and go back to its original floor plan? So those are two questions I think you have to ask yourself on any deals with converted garage.
Okay, so I pulled up a property here. Sorry, I should have got rid of Sean earlier. I pulled up a property here that's literally right next door. It's a 3-2, so it's a full bath. Ours is a 1.5 bath. It's a 1331 1955 house, 1331 square feet. Would you say this is a good comp? It's right across the street.
Yeah, that's a pretty good comp. In fact, I used that on my comp sheet.
There you go. So guys, our house is 1.5, 1469 square feet. This one's pretty much a very similar house. It's a little bit smaller, like over 100 square feet smaller. It doesn't have a garage. They converted the garage, and it's good. And then year wise, ours was a 1955. This is the same. So this is a good comp, right? So we're going through our 10 comp commandments. So if we go back to our 10 comp commandments, let's see if we checked everything. We went within one mile. This is literally right next door. We're going through properties that are at least, less than 360 days sold. We didn't cross any major streets. We're going to look at on markets here in a minute. We actually haven't done that yet. It's within 10 years. It's the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms, pretty close, right? I think we're going to have to make an adjustment for the half bath, which we're going to get to in a second. Same building material, pretty much. That one's not brick. Ours is not brick. It's the same similar size lots. We're going to have to make an adjustment, and it's within 300 square feet. So, hey guys, it's a 10 comp mammoths. It's really easy. So you pulled this one, Ryan. Would you say this is a really nice house? I love the shingle work. That's really cool.
Hey Max, open up this file I just sent. It's actually the comps that I used pulled at the time when we did the deal.
I love this.
You can show everyone what an actual report looks like in MSA.
Let me show you guys. You guys are gonna look at the nice stuff. You send it to my email.
No, in the chat here.
Oh, cool. Nice. So I don't have to open up my email. All right, let me show you guys what we actually pull. This is what we send out to our buyers and stuff. Here's a CMA. You want to explain this to the people, Ryan?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, so what we did here, like Max was doing, is I clicked the 4 or 5 best comps I found as comparable to the subject property, the property that we put under contract. So we made this report to our for our end buyers to look at. So like I said, go through the rules. How'd I do? Minus the 1984 build, I probably shouldn't have used that one. But everything else, I think I hit the nail on the head.
Okay, now I'm just curious. This one was only $167 a square foot, whereas everything else is over $200 a square foot. Oh, is this one not as well flipped? The Maverick. You can see days on market. Then list price, sold price, 235, 283. Yeah, this one was a really low. So for whatever reason, Maverick sold really cheap. 2529 Maverick Avenue. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, take a look at that one.
I actually like that you were most people are not putting the bad comps in their comp sheet. They're sort of fudging the numbers to tell their own story. So, but Ryan was very truthful and put all the comps. I don't know.
And maybe it was an as-is comp. Again, it's our job. When I'm putting properties together, I put all my notes in for the team, and I go, hey, point out this specific comp. This is pretty compared to what we're buying. This is what we're putting it out for. So I make sure to add if there's a weird comp in there for whatever reason or actives. I tell the story of why it's in there. I think I try to put. I try not to just put random things in. Every data point I put in there has a purpose for how we're painting the picture.
Sure. Okay,
know?
so back to this one. So this one was 315,000. You said it's a good comp. The only difference is ours is bigger, but this one has a full bathroom and ours has a half bathroom. Right. So between us, what kind of adjustment would you make for us having a half bathroom and them having a full bathroom? What would you say the conversion would be to convert our half bath to a full bath?
Like, what's the price?
Yeah.
5 to 10K.
Yeah, guys. So adding a bathroom's actually pretty pricey. On Jamil's adjustments on his comp sheet, he said only 10K. I actually don't agree with that. Adding a bathroom's super expensive. Adding a half bath is cheap because you already have all your plumbing in there. I'd say 5K easy. You're really just throwing a shower in, and then maybe you're having to redo some walls. 5 to 10K for a half bath. I think a bathroom you could easily cost you 20 grand. So I just put Jamil's numbers in here, but I don't actually tend to agree with that. Sometimes adding a bathroom can be really pricey if your layout's not correct. So anyways, okay, so let's just subtract, let's say 10K for having not a full bathroom, but we're a bigger house. So do you think it ends up being a wash? I'd say it's a wash. So what did we say that the ARV of our house was? This one was sold for 325, excuse me, not 310. So this one sold for 325. This house here, this looks like a great comp. This one was 300,000. This one actually has a garage though.
That one's a bit smaller than us, I believe.
This one's a little bit smaller, a couple hundred square feet smaller, but it has a garage, right? So if you go to our adjustments, they say a garage is 10, you want to subtract 10 to 20,000. So we would subtract, if we say ours is 320, now we would subtract probably 20,000. So ours is 300,000, right? Based off of our comps. So for example, if this was the comp we were choosing and this one sold for 300,000 and we had the exact same house except no garage, we'd say ours is 280. 10 to 20,000. I do 20. I think garages are pretty important. Maybe a one-car garage you do 10,000. So okay, so this one's a little bit smaller. So what did you end up getting for ARV on this one? What do you think?
When I did this property, I put down 330K.
Okay.
And I put 60K in repair.
Wow.
And we sold it for 190, and that was sight unseen because of the tenant situation, which I think we would have actually got more money if, remember, we didn't have 3 months of access. I don't know if you were here yet at this time.
I don't know.
This is back in no, you were on 3/8/24.
I was right when I was I was here.
It was the stressful deal of the year. These tenants wouldn't leave, and then my wholesaler / realtor who was working with it got mixed up in it, and this guy was like a shark money lender, and he kept blowing my wholesaler up to get this moved, but he was trying to explain to him like, I can't until we can't close on this till the tenant leaves. It was a pretty bad situation for my agent wholesaler, but we got it done. It took 3 months.
Jeez. There's always those types of deals. So yeah, so we said ARV of 330. I mean, you could look at this house and be like, Max, but this is a perfect comp. It's a 3.2. It's a little bit smaller. It's the same year. And this one only sold for 280. You guys, look how ugly this thing is inside. That's not full ARV. This thing still has ugly wooden doors. This thing's gross. All right, let's go back through some more pictures. The kitchen's not updated. So a non-fully updated house selling for 280. I think Ryan's probably about spot on with 330. Okay. So we said 330. You said 50K in repairs. So you're saying this house, you said 50K for this thing?
I called it 60 at the time just for buffer. 60, but I think the buyer actually said it was probably even closer to 50. So I actually left some room for it. And then if you look at the private chat, Max, I actually have my internal notes. So that actually makes sense. I did put an as is comp in there.
Cool. That's what that comp was as is. So 330K, guys. We're saying 50K for repairs. We'll have to do a whole masterclass on how to estimate repairs because I feel like that's where everyone gets tricked up. This is actually becoming pretty easy to do. Getting your ARVs. This is where I feel like people mess up the most. And it's got such a huge difference. I mean, really think about it. If you think repairs are 30K for this, then that's 20K difference. So there goes your entire assignment fee for all of us, right? So then we said 50K in repairs. So what are you offering? 70% in this pocket? It's a good pocket. 75%. What do you think you could buy it at?
back then we were doing 80 just because we have the infrastructure. But obviously, like for everyone watching this, I mean, try to stick to as close to 70 as possible.
Okay. So 330 times 0.7. 330 times 0.7 minus 50K. So you would want to get it at 181,000. So what were our numbers, Ryan? What did we end up getting it at? What did we sell it at?
We got it at one.
MAO.
We got it at 175 and we sold it at 190.
Wow, I feel like we could have sold that one higher. You were all right.
We could have. If there wasn't been the tenant situation, we had higher offers. Basically,
I'm thinking of two. That's a 199K sale all day long.
100%. But we were working with the variables we had at the time, so it was still
it is what it is. Hey,
still a win.
Yeah, guys. So I mean, there you go, guys. I mean, I love that. This is perfect. We show a deal that didn't work for us. We weren't able to sell it. And we explained to you why. We went through the comping and we were like 40K too expensive. And then we show you a deal that we were able to sell and our comping and our numbers are exact. Guys, it works, right? It works. Like we moved this deal and we came in exactly where we should have had our maximum allowable offer. The ARV is the same. Our repairs are the same. Our offer is the same. Right, that one's okay.
That's funny. I guess I'll answer this one. Per my dad, we're second cousins. I don't know the validity to that. But if you look at our features, we're definitely our grandmas are like cousins from Wisconsin. I don't know what that makes us. It's definitely not second or third cousins, but there's a slight blood relation, but not too much where I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely that guy's definitely my homie. We're grabbing beers on the weekend. By no means that, but very slightly.
Yeah, Joshua, I'm gonna make a whole video on the 10 Commandments. I'm gonna get it a little bit more fine-tuned, and then I'll make it a full video on that for you. I just want to get this out to you guys early, so if those of you are watching, you guys get a little special access. I'm gonna get these totally ingrained. So let's actually open up our 10 Commandments real quick. So if we look at these, I think these are bulletproof. I mean, we just tested these on 2 properties and it went 100%. It works. I also think 11 is the days on market bonus, right? So remember the days on market bonus, guys. The adjustments is where it's a little bit more up in the air. This is super interesting. So bed, plus or minus 10 to 25,000. I think bath, in my opinion, is actually closer to that. My honest opinion. Who am I? I'm just a guy with a mustache. Pool, plus or minus 10K. That's what everyone uses. What do you think about that, Ryan? This is what like the wholesaling gold standard is. I'm not saying this is perfect, but this is what people use. So for example, guys, you guys find a house on Zillow, and you're saying that's your ARV. Oh, let's go back. Hold on. Let's go to more. And then we're going to say must have pool. All right. We're going to say this house. And you're saying this is your after repair value. This is what your house could be worth. But you have the exact same house, but it doesn't have a pool. So it's telling you to subtract 10 grand. So you would say that your ARV is 865. Is that perfect? No. Because this house, I'm telling you, this house and this pool is probably worth like 75 grand. Like this pool sells this house. So it's not a perfect thing. These are all just rules of thumb. When you come to adjustments, they get really tough. But this
higher end pools are definitely a bit trickier to price in. That 300 pools are the trickiest thing to account for, in my opinion. We have a lot of investors too. Like, yeah, we don't mess with them. They just fill it in, concrete it out, and move on. Pools are, out of all these comping rules, I haven't found a true tried and tested. To be honest, it's a bit of a crapshoot. It just depends on the deal.
Yeah. I filled my pool. I filled it up with concrete and filled it up. I hate pools. So garage, guys. So same thing. You have a property where you explained it. The garage, the carport. This is where it gets really interesting. So this is old Jamil Domji on this one. I actually really like this. We just experienced this with a property called on Roper. Shout out to Ryan Binion. I'm sorry we couldn't move your deal. That 7-Eleven killed it. So Ryan, what do you think about this? You have a house. And if it's under 500,000, it's your basic house, they say if there's traffic on the side of the house or in the back of the house, then, or commercial on the side of the house or in the back of the house, then you want to subtract like $10,000. But if there's like traffic in the front of the house and there's commercial in the front of the house and it's making everything look ugly, then you subtract 20,000. This is what Jamil uses. Probably uses it at Keekly. But if it's over 500,000, if it's a more high-end build, you actually subtract 10% for traffic or commercial on the side or back of the house, and up to 20% for traffic or commercial in front of the house, which is crazy, 20%. So if you have $1 million house and it's on a busy street, 800,000 is your maximum ARV. Or there's an ugly 7-Eleven sitting right in front of that house, 800,000 is the max ARV. What do you think about that?
The commercial rules are tricky. I haven't found anything that's like tried or true.
Yeah.
I think that's actually, if we're going by rules of thumb, I think that's a good one to stick by. You just never know till you contract it. I've had deals where commercial actually was more attractive for the buyer and we actually made more money for whatever reason, because it was by Airbnb and someone bought it for an office. I'm not saying that's not your average buyer, but I've had a lot of success in densely populated commercial / single family neighborhoods. I don't have a good rule for you on that, Max. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Just a rule for you guys. It's just something to look out for. So hey, Ryan's sad that his deal didn't move. Yeah, that 7-Eleven killed it. But like Ryan sent me another deal, I think, and he was like, dude, I think I got a great deal. And I went on Street View and I street viewed. And I went to the back of the house, and the back of the house was on a major street. And I literally saw a homeless dude who looked like cracked out walking on the street view, be right behind the house. And I'm like, dude, we got to subtract for that. We got to subtract a lot because that house is never going to be worth its full potential because of that disgusting street right behind it. So guys, make sure to look at traffic, and if a house is on a major street, even if it backs up to it, and make sure to look on the street view for commercial. So if you know what, I'm going to fix up these and I'm really going to finish my 10 commandments. But if you want another bonus, street view, you want to virtually drive the neighborhood. Drive the neighborhood. This will tell you a story. Look for traffic, look for commercial buildings, look for bus stops right in front of your house, things like that. Yep. Cool. All right, Ryan, I'm going to kick it off to you. So guys, did we get enough land? Did we get enough residential? We went through the 10 commandments. Oh, you guys couldn't see my screen when I was, my bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, Max. Let me end it. Let me end it with my land comp notes. I
want you to kick off land. I'm going to end with multifamily quickly, but I want you to take it from here and you teach the class on land. So
yeah, let me knock this one out. I got a 7 p.m. dinner, so let me do one land comp, and then I'll get out of y'all's hair. You can hear the real. Get back to the real OG.
Oh no, it's good. Do you want to take the screen, or you want me to run it?
Give me a second.
Cool. Ryan's going to teach you guys land. So it's so funny because, guys, this is not set in stone. Like Nick, our other partner at our company, I'm running land. I like to run land. You can look at comparable sales, right? Like, hey, this piece of land sold for $100,000. So our land that's the same size should be worth $100,000. But I also like to look at like what a new house would go for. So if a new house, you'd sell a new house for like $500,000, then our land can probably be worth 75 grand, right? Something like that, right? So I like to price things that way. I price it more that way. Our other partner prices it more in comparables. Who's right? Well, we have that debate all the time. And you know who actually is right? Neither of us, because it depends on our buyer. If our buyer prices it on comparables, my partner Nick is right. If our buyer prices it more how I price it, then I'm right. So there is no right answer. So to sum up, you should comp land a multitude of different ways. You should comp it using comparable sales, and you should comp it using what a new property would go for, and then use a percentage of that or work backwards based off of building costs. If that was gibberish, Ryan's going to teach you that right now. So I'm going to add Ryan to stage. Ryan, you take it from here. Run this show.
Yeah, so I mean, my rule of thumb is particularly first things first. I mean, you want to be in a subdivision and fill, something in town. If it's rural or outskirts, without much development, I like to try to just see if the owner is motivated and kind of gauge around 20% of that assessed value. And I'm talking like way outskirts. So either depending on the price, 10 to 20% as like the base. And then if I can get anywhere around there, I'll take shots on those. But specifically for like your typical subdivision neighborhood, bricks, whatever, I like to stay around 20% of the new build value. So if a new builds are selling for about 300K, I'm assuming that a developer would want to buy that all in 20% of that new build value. So he would want to buy that 300K potential, resale value of a new home at 60K. And that rule's always worked for me. 20% of the new build value. And if I've ever been spot on with that for the new build developer, I don't think there's a deal I have not moved before. And 20%, they want utilities and they want it site ready. They don't want to have to do any, demolition. They don't want to tear down the house. They want it ready to rock and roll, teed up for them to start building. So 20% new build value. Does that kind of resonate with you, Max? I know I've preached that a lot in the office.
20% new build value. I love that. That is smack in the middle. If it's not a great area, I would say 15%. If it's a great area, 25%. Your average area, I think your median house, we're talking your core 400,000 American dream starter home, typical American family white picket fence, 20% all day long. Love it. And I have
Is my screen
guys. What's up?
Is my screen working?
Yeah, it works. I have proof, guys. Heather, one of our acquisition agents. Ryan, didn't you sell that deal? You sold that deal. You made like $22,000. And
which one? The tear down?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a unique situation.
But that house was in a nice area, right?
Correct. Oh yeah. New builds were going for like 1.8 to 2 million. I mean, there's more margin.
And then what did we sell the land for? We ended up selling it for 25% of what the new house went for because it's a really nice area, guys. So 15 to 25%. Shit areas closer to 15. Really good areas 25%. Most properties around 20%. I love doing that. Yes, dude, Joshua Conway said it. 20% of new build value for infill lots. That is how you comp land in 6 seconds. Now, if you're Nick Poulos, our partner, who probably knows more than me, who am I to say, he wants to kill me when I say that because he likes comping land on comparables. But you should do both. And I know Kylie and Chris are watching this like, which one do I do? Guys, do both.
So I'm showing you guys this one we just did. We made a quick 5K on this property. A little lot over here in 75215. I think the lot, let's see.
I like you when you run the live streams. I get to just relax. This is great.
7,000 square foot lot. For one, I work with a developer in this pocket who buys, I don't know how many deals our new builds he's done to this day, but he's telling me that his last few, he's been getting around 340, 350 for the new build. And he's doing one, he just closed on one, I think 2 blocks over on Southland. So he's going off his most recent sold new build for 350. So he bought it from us at 70, which is that 20%? I think so.
What were the numbers?
350.
And we bought it off for at 70. Yeah.
We sold it to him for 70. Yep, that's right on the dot. 20%.
You could have asked for it better. So guys, the new build, he's gonna build a house and sell it for $350,000. How much are you gonna pay for the land? About 20%. That's your average medium home. 350. I said the average medium home right now is about 400,000. Smack medium home about 350. We're close. He bought the house for exactly 20%, or he bought the land for exactly 20% of what the new house would go for. It's so simple. I love land. It's so simple.
Land is a bit easier.
Now, but it does get confusing when you get multiple lots and you're working on entitlements and subdivisions and this and that and platting, like we're currently experiencing with Maurice right now on that double lot in Waxahachie, Ryan.
Yes, that one's tricky. Waxahachie isn't the best market in the world or most desired development area in the world, but I think it not being already subdivided is what's hurting us there.
Yeah,
We've had a few offers though, so I still have faith we might at least make a couple grand on that.
Can we talk about that deal? I'm curious about it. So, guys, I haven't announced this yet, but Maurice in our Discord, shout out Maurice. He actually brought me a deal from direct to seller. I think he literally went out cold calling these people. He got a seller on one property. He ended up not working that deal. It was a seller finance deal. I actually made a video on it. So, hey, actually, shout out to this guy. So check out this. Oh, no, you guys aren't sharing the screen. But if you check out my recent video on my McKinney seller finance deal where I offered 0% interest, that deal ended up falling through. Unfortunately, I may get it back in the future. But that guy actually had 2 lots in Waxahachie. Waxahachie is synonym for middle of nowhere. It's down south. And we're like, wow, this is a great deal. We're buying them at like 10%, and we're going to try to sell them for 15%. Remember what I said? You buy it, you want to sell in really shitty areas for about 15%. Unfortunately, this deal's not working out so great because it's 2 lots, but it's currently 1 address. So the whole process hasn't been finished with the city. So it's a little confusing, and it's not on a major street. It's in a little bit of like a weird alleyway. So we're having some problems, but hopefully we can get it sold and make Maurice a little bit of money. Go ahead, Ryan, kick it off. I know you have to go to dinner in a few minutes.
No, last note, if you guys are scalping for deals, honestly, land buyers are great people to call, and there's no emotional attachment to land. So it's a lot easier talking on the other side of the phone where they're okay. They're not like you're talking to a homeowner who's lived in their property for 30 years. Like that's an emotional buyer. Land people are not emotional at all. So you actually have a leg up. And it's just a lot easier conversation. And they're more willing to part with it because they probably bought it as a quick, just park my money kind of buy, and they'd be willing to sell it. That's what I found. Hopefully that's a good, little tidbit for people out there.
Ryan, your camera looks really good.
Isn't it awesome?
Dude, this is a nice camera.
What?
Look at that.
I can't get this. We got to figure out how to work this. I think the mic's with the Ozbot, but I'll get you to help me.
Even the mic sounds good.
I want to get this. This one was nice. This was $300, so this better be worth it.
You have a nicer setup than me. That
camera looks
really good. With no lighting too. That's a sick setup.
No, it follows me. Look.
No way. What?
Yeah, we get like. Isn't this cool?
Dude.
You'll have to. Next time when I see you, we'll you're gonna have to show me how to work all the settings. It's like AI and everything. I don't know. You're the tech guy, so.
Dude, you have a nicer setup than me. I'm jealous. Yo, all right. Well, shout out to Ozbot. I love
Ozbot.
It. So guys,
all right, man. I gotta bounce. Hopefully, this was helpful. Shout out to everyone. Thank you, Maurice. Hopefully, I actually just got a text. It sounds like we might have got an offer. So fingers crossed, Max. I'll get with you on that. So
cool.
See you guys.
All right. Say see you to Ryan, guys. What a master at comping single family homes and comping land. I love that he just explained land in like 2 minutes to all of us. Now we're going to quickly go over small multifamily and multifamily. So you'll be covering everything. Creative, guys, is a different game. If you want to learn about creative, watch my last masterclass I did. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, guys, thanks, Ryan. That was fun. Do you guys have any questions I can answer in the meantime? Me and Soup? Soup just took a bath. He had fleas. He got back home from staying at Grandpa's and he got fleas. So my girlfriend gave him a bath. What a sweetheart. Yeah, handsome boy. All right, guys. So you guys have no questions? All right, cool. So yeah, hopefully we can get Maurice's deal moved. I'm really hopeful. Guys, land is that easy. So if Nick is hearing this, he's probably throwing a giant fit right now. He's like, Max, stop telling these guys to buy at a percentage. But guys, seriously, this is it. So here, I'm going to quickly guys show you an example. No, for sure. All you guys deserve this information. Y'all are going to go out and absolutely kill it. You guys just need the right tools. And I and the amazing people at my company are going to give you those tools. So let me show you my screen. Bear with me here. There we go. I had to fix it now that Ryan left. This is a house. We don't want to look at houses. Let's look at a piece of land real quick. How do I look at a piece of land? Home type. Get rid of this. 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 Apply. Oh, Reset all filters. All right, look how much land is out there. Oh, my bad. Those are houses. There's not that much land out there, guys. Look how much land out there. Still a lot. Okay, this is a good area. University Park, Highland Park. It's a great area. Well, that's not land. That's a $11.5 million house. Okay, that's not land either. What are they on about here? Dude, Zillow with their garbage. How is this land? Okay, anyways, this is land. So these people are trying to get $530,000 for this house. Is this a good deal? A bad deal? Well, this is a good area. So just right off the bat, you would say, hey, I would offer 20%, or I can sell this. Maybe you could sell for 25%, but I don't know. So let's just say 20% probably is a good guess. I can sell this for 20% of what a new house would build for. So if a new house, I could sell a new house for $1 million, then I would buy this for $200,000. If I can flip and build a new house for $2 million here, then I can pay $400,000, or I can sell this for $400,000. Now, if you can sell it for $400,000, should you buy it at $400,000? No, buy it at $390. Buy it at $380. Right? Make sure you factor in some money for you guys. If you guys are an agent, double dip. Ask for a 3% agent's commission, which in this case would be $15,000, and then go and have an assignment fee for another $15,000 to make $30,000. Right? So here's what we would do. We want to figure out what this new house would go for. We can probably get a quick idea. Here, you know what? I'm going to use Zillow, guys. I'm going to be no different than you guys. I'm going to use Zillow here. So you guys don't need all this fancy software. I used Zillow just like you guys for years. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to figure out exactly where this house is. So if this is the freeway here, 12 and 75, and there's the lake. You guys remember it? Okay, 1275, and there's Abraham Street. Cool. Let's flip over to Zillow. And what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this right now. Actually, we'll just do a second tab. I hope you guys can see my screen. Yeah, you guys can. I'm not crazy here. We're gonna go to houses. We're gonna go to apply. If you guys tell me you guys can't wholesale on Zillow, I throw the biggest fit because I did it. It's a little bit more work, but you can actually do it. Year built, 2024. Apply. All right, there's the area, right? We just said it. 1275, the lake. Bam. New houses look to be going for about 1.8 million. You would want to see what they sold for. This is on market, right? So try to find sold data. Use PropR, use something like that to get sold data. These are going for like 2.23. Look at the lot to see if you can justify building something that big. You know, again, I crossed a major street, so it's not a perfect example, but these are about $2 million homes. Now, this lot looks pretty big. You'd have to see if our lot's the same size. But guys, that's about it. So it's like, you know, hey, can you build a $3 million house? Or can you only build a $1.8 million house? That would take, you know, you'd have to do some research on it. But if it's a $2 million house, I would probably want to get that at like $375 and try to sell it for $400,000. But you may be able to squeeze out more. Like I said, sometimes you can sell up to 25% on really good locations. So, you know, guys, just between us, low key, that lot I just showed you earlier, this one's actually not a terrible deal. Honestly, this doesn't. No, look at your neighbors though. Yeah, never mind. Your neighbors are shit. So this isn't not as good as a location. The neighbors are not there. So this lot you probably want at like 350 maybe, 300 something. Anyways, so that's how you do land, guys. Staying away from on-market land deals. Hell no, man. Jump on on-market land deals. There's some great opportunities. What's even a better opportunity, guys, is find a house that is too far gone in terms of being a fixer-upper, and then people are comping it wrong. They're looking at it like, oh, it's not a good property. It needs too much work. You comp it for the land value, and then you get a great deal. I've gotten a lot of those. And usually you can get a property that looks good on the surface, but the foundation's just too far gone. It's a tear down, and you just look at it for a straight land play. And then you can go and sell that land. So that's what that one deal was that our company made $53,000 on. It was a house. It looked like a fixer-upper, but it wasn't worth fixing up a house when you could just wreck it and build a $2 million house. What are you going to do, fix up a $500,000 house and it's worth $800,000? Might as well just freaking tear it down, build a $2 million house, and just move it for the land. So yeah, I love land, guys. We're going to do a whole masterclass on just land, but I just want to show you how you can comp it. So 2 things you guys should do. Look at comparable sales. I'm not saying don't do it. Absolutely do it. Look at what this land would sell for if you were to compare it to another piece of land. And then also do that percentage rule. So I'll make some more videos on that. If you guys have questions, sell it. You can sell it for 15 to 25%. You want to be buying it from 10 to 20%. Make sense? I think it's pretty easy. All right, you guys want to talk a little bit about multifamily for the last, I don't know, 20 minutes? Small multifamily? I think it's a yes. How would you not want to talk about multifamily? So, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes. I think they may classify them under multifamily on Zillow. This is actually not technically multifamily. I would classify this as small multifamily. Do we have any? Hold on. Home type. Hold on. So, this is probably a duplex. Duplex. There you go. They classify it as multifamily. It's technically small multifamily. So, just so you guys know, here you go. I'll share my screen now. What non-existent in DFW? What's non-existent? Small multifamily duplexes. So, this is a duplex here in Plano, right? What is small multifamily? Small multifamily is duplex, triplex, and quadplex. And then anything more than 4 plexes, 4 units, that becomes multifamily. Why do we have a distinction? Well, guys, think about it. This is a huge, huge win. So here, I'm going to go on a little bit of a side tangent. You guys can get an FHA loan for a quadplex. You can get an FHA loan for a motherfucking quadplex. Do you know how insane that is? You can get a loan that the government guarantees that you only need to put 3.5% down and not buy 1 unit. You can go and buy 4 units as a single family home, as a first house. You're not buying a house, you're buying a freaking quadplex, but the government will guarantee it. It's so cool. So that's why we have a distinction. You can get conventional government loans for duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. So if you guys want to be real estate investors, one of the best hacks I can give you is go qualify with the bank. I know, gross banks. Go qualify. Go get a freaking FHA loan where you only need to put 3.5 to 5% down. So a $500,000 quadplex, you would only need to put like $20,000 down. You all can save 20 grand. I don't care how bad inflationary this economy is and how much our government just money prints, how expensive everything is. I know all of you can save a 20 grand. You guys can go flip a wholesale deal and make 20 grand. Take that 20 freaking grand, go qualify with the bank with an FHA loan, go buy 4 units, live in 1 unit, rent out the other 3 units. You're not called house hacking. You're called quadplex hacking. And you will cash flow. You'll pay off your PITI. You'll actually cash flow. And you'll live for free. Guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? House hack with quadplexes. House hack with quadplexes. The only problem is, at least where I live, finding those deals is brutal. So, but how do you value a duplex, a triplex, a quadplex? You don't do the 10 commandments. You don't look at really comparables and stuff because, guys, they're different. They're income producing properties. You're not looking at them so much as assets. You're looking at them from income producing properties. How much cash flow can they produce for you? So we want to run it a little bit more like a business. So here, take this property we have here. You guys can tell I'm in my element now. I'm pumping. We got this ugly duplex. We don't know anything more about it, but we know duplex, there's 2 units. They want $375,000 for that. Is that a good deal or bad deal? Let's just assume, do they give us any information on it? It's a 2-bed and 2-bath on each side, 900 square feet per side. This seems a little expensive between us. Let's just say that each side needs they're going to be rentals, right? So we're not going to spend as much on rehab. We're just trying to get them rental ready. So we're going to say each side needs 35 grand. Oh, they're really small. Each side needs 30 grand in rehab. Okay? Each side needs 30 grand in rehab. So let's flip over to our notes. So we have a duplex, and each side needs 30 grand in rehab. Okay, so that's times 2. Now we got to remember, we have to multiply our rehab by 2 now because we have 2 units. If you have 4 units, you're going to be multiplying by 4, right? If it's a quadplex. Makes sense. It's easy. Now, are we going to go look at the 10 commandments and go find what the ARV is? No. We don't give a flying F about ARV when it comes to multifamily and small multifamily. We don't care about ARV. That's not even part of the conversation. What we care about one thing. Do any of you know what this is? It's a 4-letter word. Come on, guys. It's a 4-letter word. Where are you guys? I already lost StreamYard here. Come on. Does anyone know? I want to know if you guys know what this 4-letter word is. What is the 4-letter word we care about? It's not ARV. Cash flow is 2 4-letter words. You're right. You're thinking you're too big brain. You're playing chess. I'm playing checkers right now. Back up. What's before cash flow? What's before cash flow, Joshua? You got this. 1. Da na 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 na. Da na na na. Got it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. We care about rent. We comp small multifamily and multifamily on rent. Rent. Yes, Sean. Yes, everybody. Cap rates. Rent. Cap rates. Cash flow. All that stuff. It all starts at rent. Got to figure out the rent. So let's flip back to this house. I love multifamily. This is where I thrive. What does this piece of shit rent for? Each side. We can just make up numbers if we want, or we could actually go and comp rent. In a second, we'll go comp rent. We're going to make up numbers right now. Let's say each side. Actually, I would probably know. Let me use my big brain. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a guess on this. We're actually going to go comp it. I'm going to say each side would rent for $1,800 if it's fixed up. Do I know? No. But let's say $1,800 a side. All right, we'll see how close I am. So that's times 2. So that means our total rent is $3,600. Do you guys know what the 1% rule is? Have I yelled that rule before? Y'all know what the 1% rule is? Do y'all know what the 1% rule is? Hold on, I'm trying to fix my monitors so that y'all can see the screen and I can see you guys at the same time. Bear with me here. I have way too many tabs open. All right, cool, I got it. So the 4 letters is not 4 words. Did I say 4 words, Lewis? Fuck. Did I say a 4-worded letter? No, I thought I said a 4-letter word. Or did I say it's 4 words? Bro, I've been at this for too long. I'm so sorry. Did I say 4 words? My bad, bro. That's on me. You were out here with debt to income ratio. What a freaking legendary guess. No, it's my bad. 4-letter word, not 4-worded letter. Okay. Anyways, guys. So I don't even know where I was at. So let's open up this. Where was I at? I completely lost track now. So we're talking about rent. Yeah. So we're talking about the 1% rule. A property. This is your most important thing you're going to take out of this. Yes, there you go. Monthly rent needs to meet or exceed 1% of the. There we go. Sean nails it. The monthly rent needs to meet or exceed 1% of the purchase price. So, guys, if I'm walking down my street right now and there's $500,000 houses, I would love for my $500,000 house to rent for $5,000. I immediately know I have a great deal. Is that going to happen? No. This $500,000 houses in this neighborhood probably renting for $3,300. But if I can get a property that can rent for 1%, that's a good deal. And investors will buy properties based off of the 1% rule all day long. Just like how investors will buy properties based off of the 70% rule, investors will buy properties all day long based off of the 1% rule for rent, right? These are all rules. This is what investors use to buy properties. So my student housing rentals, I have a house that's worth about $600,000. I get about $6,000 in rent. 1% rule, right? How do I do that? Because I do student housing. I rent by the room. So I try to always meet the one. Sorry, I got cat hair on my face. I got 1% rule on all my student housing rentals. But on duplexes, that's actually how we comp properties. It's freaking awesome, guys. I'm teaching you guys all the rules of thumb, and I'll summarize at the end. I'm forgetting my English. So property rents for $3,600, then we would want to pay the most, the purchase price, or you can imagine it as ARV, right? You can just imagine it as whatever you want. 360 grand. We're just multiplying it by 100. We're multiplying it by 100 times the monthly rent. The monthly rent. So 360 grand. And then we're going to subtract the repairs. We said repairs were, how much did we say? We said 30K aside, so 60. This is a great example. So we're going to say 300,000, and then we're going to want to subtract our assignment fee. So how much do we want to make, guys? Minimum 10 grand? We want to make 20 grand? Let's say we want to make 20 grand. Now our offer is going to be 280. That's how we're going to offer. That's what we offer. This is how we offer on duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. I just teach you guys the hack. That freaking easy. So this property, if rent is actually $1,800, I would want to buy this house right now, and repairs are actually 60. We're making a lot of assumptions here. Then I would want to buy this at 280. Wasn't that awesome? So guys, you guys learned the 10 commandments, and we remember the 70% rule. You guys learned how to offer on land in 6 seconds using the 15 to 25% rule. And you guys just learned the 1% rule and how that applies to small multifamily. Guys, and I'm going to teach you the rule for multifamily. So there's 4 back of the napkins rules that you can apply to single family homes, land, small multifamily, and multifamily. And I'm going to make a full video on this. And if you guys just apply these rules, you guys can take your comping down from like 30 minutes to like 2 minutes by applying these rules. And these rules work really well. Yeah, you need me to run that formula for you one more time? Yeah, I blew your mind. That's why. You guys are learning the most awesome things. So this house, what does it rent for? Or this multifamily, excuse me. Let's see right now. We're gonna go to residential lease quick. Okay, we're gonna run this live stream for a little bit longer, not too much longer. I'm starving. I want some peanut butter. We're gonna look at what these are renting for. It's gonna be a little bit tough to comp rent for a duplex because we gotta also find a duplex. But let's try to find a two. Wasn't this what 2.2? 1,000 square foot 2.2. Let's try to see what things are renting for. It's gonna be a little tough to figure out. Oh, you can also call the realtors and see what they're currently getting for rent. That's usually the easiest thing. You call them up, you be like, hey, what are you currently getting for rent? That's your answer right there. But let's try to figure this out without doing this. I said 1875. I said 1800. This is a duplex. Bro, I'm a freaking genius. This duplex is renting for 1875 for one side. And it's bare bones inside. It's not even that nice. So if we made ours really nice, I think we could get 2,000. Did I nail my numbers or what? Yo, I freaking nailed my numbers. So yeah, half duplex, that's not even that nice, is renting for 1875. Guys, hey, if any of you guys are watching this live stream, this property doesn't look like a bad deal. Between us, doesn't look like a bad deal. I think you guys could probably squeeze out $2,000 in rent if you guys were to really make this really nice. Now, guys, did I do a great job? No, I crossed streets. I just grabbed the property arbitrarily. So ideally, this area could rent differently. Where's this at? Actually, this is not a bad area at all. I know this area. It's very hit or miss. But, oh, there's 14th Street. This is Grove Apartments. Yo, guys, $2,000 rent all day long. I really think so. Actually, I know this area really well. Right next to the, yeah, cool. So let's just say $2,000 in rent if we were to fix it up nice. So now our number's gonna be different this time. So $2,000 in rent times 2 because it's a duplex. That's $4,000 in rent. Using the 1% rule, we can multiply this. Let's keep going down. This by 100. 4,000 times 100 is 400,000. You guys are gonna be able to run all this in your head. And then we're gonna have to subtract for repairs. We're assuming $30,000 aside. So let's say 60 grand. It's probably gonna be a little bit higher, but maybe 60 grand's fair. Then we're at 200, wait, what? 340,000. And then we wanna subtract our assignment fee. Subtract your assignment fee. We wanna make some money here. assignment fee. So then we're going to want to be at 320. If we want to have a 20K assignment fee, then we want 320. Done. Cool, right? So what's this property? This one I said it could be a good deal. It's at 375. Somebody go offer 320. Now again, don't offer 320 until we know about the repairs. But someone call this realtor right now. Get me interior pictures. I'll tell you how much repairs are. If repairs are around 60 grand, I would be a little bit more conservative because investors are probably going to say that rents could not be 2,000. If someone can get this around 300,000, I think you have a good deal here. Anybody's going to take that shot? Cool, right? So now you guys know how to run a small multifamily. So now I'm going to end this live stream by quickly teaching you guys multifamily. Is it any different? Slightly. Slightly. This used to be the world I lived in. I used to only do multifamily. So I'm going to have to relive the multifamily days. Bear with me here, guys. Multifamily is also known as residential income. Residential income. How do we get some residential income properties? Let's flip over here. MLS is not the best for residential income. You know, actually where you want to go is LoopNet. LoopNet's going to be your best friend. Let's go to LoopNet. A little hack for you guys. You guys want to find good multifamily or good commercial multifamily. Now guys, commercial is not the same as multifamily. This is a masterclass in itself. This is a masterclass in itself. Let's go Dallas. Let's go multifamily. We don't want to do for lease, for sale, property types. We want to do multifamily. So multifamily, guys, this is 5 units plus. These are probably going to be large apartment buildings. Like this one. Okay, we have 136 unit. Craxy's good too. Craxy's great. I just usually liked LoopNet because it was free and you have the agent's phone numbers right there. So you can bug Chase and Chase Davis and, well, why is their name changing? Why is Chase Davis here? And then when I scroll down, it's Trey and John. That's weird. What the heck, Chase? Chase just appears. Look at that. I guess there's 3 of them. That's probably why. I'm just dumb. Anyways. No, and they're really cool. They're fun to talk to. These are all good guys. So here's multifamily. How the heck would you comp a 136 unit apartment? Sounds like a brutal task. It's actually really not that hard. You could read through all of this. I used to only comp multifamily for a living. You want to take the occupancy ratio. There's a lot to it, guys. I'm going to quickly go through this. But more or less, what you want to do is you want to take the rent, just like we're doing with small multifamily. You take the rent, and then you want to subtract expenses. So it's a little bit different. You want to subtract expenses, and then you get something that you may know this name. It's called cash flow. But with multifamily, it's a little bit different. We actually get something called like NOI, net operating income. And then if you subtract the interest in the principal, aka your mortgage, you get something called CFADs. If this is all gibberish to you, don't worry. Multifamily is difficult. People, yeah, everyone's dropping off my stream right now. Everyone's like, what the fuck are we learning? Multifamily, that's awful. That's why we're only going to do this a little bit. We'll do a full masterclass on just multifamily for the people that care about multifamily. But more or less, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to get the rent. So you say, okay, 136 units. Each unit is renting for, let's see. This would be an added. So, okay, so capitalized value of, so let's just say $1 million. Okay, so each unit, we'll just say 100. We'll say 80 grand. Okay, so we're going to say that rent is 80 grand a month. Rent is $80,000 a month. 80K a month. Multiply this by 12. We get our annual rent. We'll just say it's about 1 million for easy numbers. We're getting $1 million in rent a month. All right, cool. Now that we have $1 million in rent, we want to subtract expenses. This gets very complex. Guys, multifamily has so many freaking expenses. You guys want to see all of the attachments that they have. Their OM should hopefully go through it. But guys, this shit's like accounting, IRS, like your tax man, everything. You have so much in here. I don't want to bore you guys, but if we can actually find their statements, we should be able to see everything. But I'm going to teach you guys a quick trick. So here they have their income. Their market rent's actually a lot higher than we were saying, but that's fine. Then you have expenses. They also charge for other things oftentimes. Here, you have contract services, repairs and maintenance, administrative, marketing, payroll, total utilities, management fee, insurance, real estate taxes. There's usually even a lot more than that. All right. And then you're going to get your net operating income. And I also like to get CFADs if we're doing creative deals. But what's a way for us to make this easy? Instead of actually having to do all this work, because guys, we don't like doing work. We're lazy wholesalers. How can I just generally figure out my expenses? Well, I'll tell you that most people are budgeting anywhere from like 30 to 50% of rent for their expenses. So here, their expenses are $70,000 and their rent's $126,000. That's actually very, very high. I usually don't see it that high. It's usually somewhere between 30 to 50%. So if you want to be really conservative, just do 50%. It depends on your location, guys. This is very location dependent. So if our rent is $1 million, we assume that our expenses are 50% of our rent. So then that means, so if expenses are $500K, what does that make our net operating income? Makes our net operating income half of the rent. That's all we did. So that means our net operating income is half of rent. And if our NOI is half of rent, in order to get something called cap rate, all you do is take your NOI and then you divide it by the purchase price. And guys, that's it. It was that easy. That's how you comp multifamily. Wasn't that badass? We just make simple rules. This would be called the 50% rule. Now, this is going to be very location dependent. 50% rule is very safe. An older property, you're going to want to be closer to 50%. You're going to have a lot more costs. A newer property is probably closer to 30, 40%. Okay, for this example, we're using a 50% rule. So all I did here was take the rent. I took that by half. I said that's our NOI. And then to get cap rate, we take NOI divided by PP, by purchase price. So let's flip back here. What do they want for this property? I don't care about this. What the heck? Where did our property go? Hold on. Our property, they want... Why are they not giving us a price? Dude, please don't ruin my live stream right now. I'm cranking. You're just going to tell me it's for sale? Really? Really not giving a price? Let's assume this thing's $10 million. Okay. Let's assume it's $10 million. So that would be 500K divided by 10 million. And that would give you a cap rate of... Ugh. I should be able to do that in my head. I'm sort of fried right now. I'm really fried. Why can I not do that? What is that, 5%? That should be 5%. I'll give you a cap rate of 5%. And then you comp multifamily based off of a cap rate. I'm not going to get into too much detail on what a cap rate is, guys, but that's how you comp multifamily. Higher the cap rate, better the deal, but at the same time, you want to be buying properties at a high cap rate and then selling them at a low cap rate. It's a whole thing. But 5% cap rate, that's not a great deal. If this thing was $5 million and we had a 10 cap, well, that may be a pretty good deal. Okay? And that's how you comp multifamily. But now if you're doing a creative multifamily, you would take it one step further. You get to your NOI, and then you would subtract something that we call debt servicing costs, DSC. Remember I said your principal, your interest, your mortgage? You subtract your debt servicing costs. This could be seller financing, your subject to loan, right? You subtract your debt servicing costs, and then you would end up with not NOI, you'd end up with CFADs, cash flow after debt servicing. And then you would take your cash flow after your debt servicing, and you don't look for cap rate. No, cap rate is for cash. That's if you're buying a household cash. F this. What you actually look for is something called cock. And you want a big cock. You want a huge cock. So you take your CFADs divided by not the purchase price, but by the entry fee. And then CFADs divided by entry fee gives you cock. And you usually want a cock well above 10%. Voila, that's how you comp multifamily. We're going to do a whole masterclass on multifamily. Sounds good? I think we should do a full masterclass on multifamily. Guys, is multifamily a lot harder than everything else? Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't that hard. It's not impossible. You guys could easily learn it. You guys could easily learn that. You guys learn how to comp land. You guys learned how to comp homes. You guys learned how to comp small multifamily. You guys learned how to even comp multifamily. You guys learned everything. I love this. The realtor on the Plano duplex didn't answer. I left a message and to try again tomorrow. Dude, okay. Give me pictures of the interior. Let me know what we think repairs are. Ask how bad the foundation is. Ask if it needs a new roof. Ask about water heater, HVAC, things like that. And then ask what they're renting it for right now. I bet you, I'm going to take a guess. I think they're probably getting like $1,500 in rent now. If we fix it up, I think we can get closer to $2,000. And yeah, let's get that deal close to 300 grand. If you're a licensed realtor like myself, what you can do is you can be like, hey, I'll give you 320 grand for the property. I want a 3% buyer's agent commission. That's about 10 grand. And then I can go and wholesale it for 330 grand. So now I've made a $10,000 assignment fee and I made a $10,000 buyer's agent commission. I call that double dipping. I just made 20 grand. It pays to be a licensed agent when you wholesale. Cool, guys? All right. I think you guys are all jumping up. Do you guys have any questions for me while I dip on this? You guys have any questions for Captain Soup? Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. No questions, no questions. I'm here to answer questions if you have any. It was a good hour and a half live stream. I appreciate all of you. Great job, guys. All right. I'll see you in the next one, guys. You guys killed it. Yo, thank you. Thank you. I know multifamily was confusing. You guys didn't fully understand it. Don't worry. We'll make a full masterclass on that next time. All right. See y'all later. Bye, guys. How do we end this?